I just had a session with Jason Charles Miller for Chivalry, in which he was reprising a role that he's been doing for quite some time of an Agathian Commander. What's your character do?
The way I explain it to my friends is like, if you play for the blue side, I yell at you all the time. So I'm basically the guy that's like, get those troops up on that wall, take that barricade. I'm just ordering you what to do, or, when things go bad, to retreat.
There are two things actually I wanted to talk to you about. You have a wicked British accent, and, looking at you here in your home setup, you wouldn't think that this guy has an incredible British accent. And I'm just curious, you're incredibly specific with your accent. Tell me about the journey to get to there.
Well, what I try to do, honestly, is I try to not think about it. I imagine the character in my head and what that character would say rather than concentrate on the accent. I have studied accents, and I have studied what I call the high fantasy accent. When I'm thinking about what the character is going to do, I rather embody the character than concentrate on the accent, and they tend to match up correctly. Because if you concentrate too much on it, then it sounds like you're trying too hard.
That's so interesting. So I'm curious as well then, with this being a character, the Agathian Commander, that you've come back to over and over again, is there a very specific physicality that you have for this character in particular?
Yeah. For this character, I tend to put my hands on my hips, like I'm ready to command. And that seems to like get me in the spot. When I do different characters, I put my body in different positions for like whatever game or animated thing I'm working on. When I'm doing battle emotes or pain or anything like that, I have to sort of get myself in that position, and it makes it come out better.
Nice. I would imagine then that you really know this guy.
Yeah, I think I do know this guy. He's proud of his troops, but he also gets very frustrated with them very quickly. So he has a hair trigger, I would say, but he always just wants to complete that mission. And when he does, he's pretty excited about it.
One of the things that you said earlier that really means a lot, to me, it's just interesting to hear you say. I often think about this in musical terms, and you're a musician as well, so I think you understand this too. If you are playing guitar and singing, one of them has to be rote, or you are screwed, in essence. The focus has to be on one or the other, and that's right. It. And what you just said about that earlier was that you don't think about the accent. That's your rote, which is interesting. You think about the character and inhabiting that character. I just find that fascinating, because you would think for some people they might do the other way around.
Yeah, because I've seen plenty of videos on like how to make a British accent exactly. There's always these weird tricks. And for me, I just sort of study the overall script, then embody the character and decide what he's going to say as he says it.
So interesting that you are a singer first. And so do you feel that your singing ability, or things that you at least learned, techniques that you learned from singing, helps you as a voice actor?
1,000%. I took singing lessons early on. You have a much better understanding of what your voice can do and cannot do as a singer. You know your range. By knowing what your voice can do singing wise, then you can also put different characters that you create in different areas of your range. And I think that is a huge step up for voiceover. So I often recommend to people that want to get into voiceover who aren't singers, take singing lessons, obviously take regular acting lessons. You need that knowledge of acting to apply to voice acting. It's way more than, of course, just picking a voice.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to drop in with you about was how you protected your voice through the session. How is it that you got to be so specific with knowing how much you could do, how little you actually needed to rest in order for it to make that much of a difference? And have you injured your voice beforehand that's brought you to the place of knowing your instrument so well?
Luckily, I have never seriously injured my voice doing voiceover or singing. Early on in training, when I was a teenager, I was taught by my singing instructors, if it starts to hurt, stop, don't push through it. And also having the courage to tell the director, hey, look, I need to take a break right now, because of course, we're so grateful to have the work that then having to be like, hey, I need to take a break. That's something that I've struggled with for many years, because I'm always concerned that I'm going to be the difficult one. I think the best thing for that is to just be as honest as possible and just be like, hey, I feel like I'm at my limit. Can you give me 5? When I take that break, I don't talk to anyone, so that you really are taking a true vocal rest.
Jason, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to work with you, as
Oh,
always.
I love it. Thanks for having me on, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Bye.